A question here. Are you happy with the amount of money you're making right now as a real estate? Are you happy? Yes or no? Write it down on a piece of paper. Don't copy anybody. Okay? Just write it down, your own answer. Are you happy, yes or no, with the amount of money you're making right now as a real estate agent? I wrote this question down. Have you ever questioned your potential and allowed yourself to want more than you have right now? You ever questioned your potential? Has anyone ever said to you, wow, you have such great potential. Wow, you do really well. How about back in high school or back in college, did you ever have a teacher or instructor say, wow, you have potential? And now you are 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. And you really question sometimes, do I still have that potential? I'm here to tell you, you have that potential. Doesn't matter how old you are, doesn't matter how young you are, you have the potential. The question I wrote down here, are you like the majority of real estate agents who are spending hours and hours and hours in this business? I mean 8, 10, 12, 15-hour days in this business, working what you think is hard and not making the kind of money that you think you should be making. Is that happening? In the book Life Strategies by Dr. Phil, if you haven't read it, read it. It was his first book. Fabulous book. He wrote, you either get it or you don't. You either get it in life or you don't. The way I see this, this is not a dress rehearsal. One time through. You either get that and do something about it, or you don't. Larry Wingert writes, you are not paid to work hard. In fact, you're not paid for effort at all. Think about what he's saying. You're not paid to work hard. You're not paid for your effort. Write this down and circle it. He says you are paid for the results you get. Period. We don't get paid for working hard. We get paid for results. It's not what you do, it's what you get done. I wrote down here, being successful as a real estate agent, whether it's being a listing agent or a buyer's agent, it all comes down to how influential you can be as an individual. How influential are you as an individual in this business? I wrote down, if you cannot convince a prospect to say yes, then your business is guaranteed to fail. If you can't figure out how to convince a client to say yes, to go with you, to be with you, then there's no way you can succeed in this business. I wrote down, if your desire is to be successful and thrive, then you must learn how to sway your prospect from not sure they want to do business with you to I'm certain I want to do business with you. Get the difference? You've got to learn how to be able to sway the client from I'm not sure I want to do business with you to I'm certain I want to do business with you. So the question comes in, how do we do that? So write this down. Knowledge equals confidence. Knowledge equals confidence. The more knowledgeable you are in your contracts, the more knowledgeable you are in the properties that are available, the more knowledgeable you are in the financing of property, the more knowledgeable you are in how to work with people and understand them, the more confident you will be. The more confident you are in the transaction, the more power you're going to have in the transaction. So, I wrote down here, to be a top producing salesman, you need to move motivated prospects from not sure that they will choose you to absolutely sure you're the right person. And that starts, write this down, with taking action. Taking action. Spending the day at the office is not necessarily taking action. Here's what my suggestion is. Write this down. Keep a log of what you do for the week. Keep a log. Simple log. No big deal. Piece of paper. I'll even buy the paper. Okay? Of what you do for the week. And at the end of the week, here's what I want you to do. I want to break your activities down. What percentage of your time did you spend building your skills, your knowledge, and your mindset? Write that down. What percentage of the time of your week did you spend building your skills, your knowledge of the business and of the marketplace, and of your mindset? Then I want you to write down what percentage of the time did you do pursuing new business, looking for new business, prospecting for new business. What percentage of the time, the next category is, what percentage of the time did you spend in servicing your clients and taking care of your clients and giving them good service, being available to them and being able to answer their questions? And the last category is, what percentage of the time did you spend tracking your business? I said to you earlier, deals are going into escrow and we're closing them before the end of the year. Get that fact. 60 transactions opened in the last 3 weeks and are slated to close in our company before the end of the year. We probably got another 60 or 70 transactions that are going to fall over into January and parts of February. All from your efforts. All from putting one foot in front of the other. Now is not the time to stop. I wrote down here, do you have a life of broken promises? How many times, here's the question, how many times in your career, in your life, have you said, okay, that's it, I've had it, I'm going to do this today? How many times have you done that in your career? 2, 3, 4, 8, 12? That was how many today? That's it, I'm going to do this. I'm going to the gym. I'm going to stop eating that food. Okay, I'm getting out of that relationship. I'm going to go into this relationship. That's it, I'm going to hit those doors. That's it, I'm going to work on my expired script. That's it, I'm going to preview those properties. Neil's not going to call me on this next week and say, hey, did you preview properties? And I'm going to be able to say, you bet I did. I saw all 25 properties last week and I feel fabulous about it. And oh yeah, I kind of tripped into a listing appointment and I got a listing out of it, but don't tell Neil, because then it just makes his case and we don't want to humor him. I wrote down here, when you break promises to yourself, how do you feel about yourself? Good or bad? You feel bad, right? Now, here's what's interesting. A lot of times we will make promises to others and keep them. It's a phenomenon about people. And yet, the promises that we make to ourselves, we tend not to keep. It's fascinating. So if in fact that's the case with you, find an accountability partner, make a promise to them to help hold you accountable for whatever it is. Because usually we're kind of slimy when it comes to making promises to ourselves and holding them accountable. But what I wanted to do is this week, this month, if you will, of December that's coming up for us, we have an opportunity to really run through the finish line. The tendency is that this week that we're running into toward the holidays, signals slowing down, signals the end of the year. I mean, everybody takes Friday and they have Black Friday and they go buy all these gifts and toys and goodies, and it's amazing to me, absolutely amazing to me, that people are going to get up at midnight, and run down to Target so that they can be in line to save $32 on a $250 mixer they're going to be able to buy at Target, $32 off. Why don't you sell another damn house and you could buy the store? That's disgusting. Think about it. Come on. How about working Friday and buying a carload of mixers?
Yeah.
We're doing this backwards. If I say to you, get up at 7 o'clock in the morning, 6:30 in the morning, do your workout, do your exercise, get ready, get going, be excited about the day so that you can hit the doors at 9 o'clock in the morning, you look at me like, whoa, that's like work. But for you to get up at midnight and run down to Target so you can save the $32, the whole family gets in the car and goes. We're going to make it an outing. We're going to stop at McDonald's. We're going to get ourselves some breakfast burritos. Come on, people, please. This makes no sense to me. So, we have a life of broken promises. So here's what I wanted to do. In December, I want to make that the month of no broken promises. No broken promises to yourself. To yourself. So, what we're going to do that is we're going to line out some activities that you're going to commit to doing. And you're going to do those activities. And let me ask you something. If you have a things to do list, certain things that you want to do and accomplish for the day, whatever it is, and you want to see a certain number of houses, you need to pick up the cleaning, you need to go to the market, maybe you need to call your mom or your dad or your aunt or uncle or grandparents, you need to do those kinds of things. But at the end of the day, when you finish the day, even though you may not have listed a house or sold a house, but at the end of the day, you completed the activity list, how do you usually feel about yourself? You feel pretty great about yourself, right? Yes. So what we're going to do is we're going to make December a month of no broken promises and a daily feeling really good about ourselves, whether we list or whether we sell a property, because we're going to do the activities. So here's what we're going to need to do. There are 21, write down, there are 21 work days in December. 21 work days by the way I count. You actually, if you add a couple of Saturdays to that, well, you got one Saturday, I guess, is Christmas, and one Saturday is New Year's. So at least 2 Saturdays you could add to that. Okay? So, for 21 days, we're going to do the activities that need to be done to make sure that great things happen for you. So, number one, write this down. you're going to feel fantastic about yourself by accomplishing these things. Number one, you're going to, it's a gift that you're giving yourself. A gift of feeling great about yourself for the month of December. Number two, we want you in those 21 work days to see 5 houses a day. I want you to preview 5 houses a day for the 21 work days. That means you're going to go see 105 previews. 105 houses over the next 21 days. Now, every one of us know if you see 100 houses over a month's period of time, that you'll become a more knowledgeable, stronger, well-versed real estate agent. And while you're out there previewing property and getting the knowledge of what's going on in the marketplace, you might find a buyer or a seller that's out driving the streets. Help them with a purchase, okay, while you're there. Just a thought. Number two, second thought, is I want you to visit 5 expireds at the door. 5 expires at the door. Now remember, this is a month of no broken promises. This is a month of 21 work days. Now, even though you're going to work 21 work days, that means in December you're still going to have 10 days off. You're going to have a third of the month off, even if you work the 21 days. So 5 expireds at the door per work day, correct. Per work day. That's 105 expireds. Now, here's what we know. 30% of the people will be home. The statistics are between 28 and 32% of all people are home, doesn't matter what time of the day you go. 28 to 32% of the people are going to be there. So if 30% of the people are there and you went to see 105 expireds at the door, that means you will talk to 32 expireds face to face. 32 expireds face to face. Now let me ask you a question. If you had the opportunity of talking to 32 expireds face to face, well, let me stop for a second. Why do we go see them at the door? Because some real estate agents actually call by the phone. That's number one. So you have a lot more competition. Number two is some real estate agents delete the phone number, so you don't have a phone number. So of all these expireds that you have, maybe you only have a 25 or 30% to even start with that have a phone number. So you're going to circumvent that by going to the door and talking to 30 people that, by the way, most real estate agents aren't talking to. Why? Because not you guys, but most real estate agents are what? Lazy. They'll pick up the phone and call, maybe, but to get in the car and go knock on the door, they don't do that. Even though statistics says they'll talk to 32 of them. So you talk to 32 of them with almost no competition. Now write this number down. 105 and 105 added together. 105 previews and 105 expireds at the door means that you're going to have stopped 210 times through the month. Stop. Your car, you go around, you stop in front of the house, you go up to the house. So you'll do that 210 times. Now what I want you to do is I want you to door knock 10 houses around this. Remember, this is going to be a month of no broken promises. This is what you're going to do. And every day, whether you get a listing or you get a sale, you're going to feel really good about yourself. So you're also, during the holidays, where we tend to not feel good about ourselves, we're going to have a mechanism that's going to help make us feel really good about ourselves at 6 or 7 o'clock in the afternoon. Does this make sense? Say yes.
Yes.
All right, good job. Now, 210 doors that we saw. We door knocked 10 around each. We now have door knocked 2,100 doors. Write that down. We went and door knocked 2,100 doors. 30% of those people are going to be home. That's the statistic. That means 630 people are going to be home. That means that you're going to talk to 630 people about real estate. through the month of December. Now let me share a thought with you. For the next couple of weeks, while you're doing this, you're going to meet people who can buy and can sell, need to buy and need to sell, and the deals could be done and closed before the end of the year. There are many cash buyers on the streets right now. They're looking for transactions. Lots of deals can be done if you're doing these activities. And then the next point is you're going to feel really great about yourself when you do this. You're going to feel really great about yourself as you're doing this. No broken promises, feeling good about yourself. It's going to be an amazing December. Now I wrote down here, there are some real estate agents that are working on planning on next year. They're doing their business plans, okay? So when you start to do your business plan and you start to think about next year, what do you tend to think about this year?
So it's over.
Over, right? It's over. This year is not over, ladies and gentlemen, by any stretch of the imagination, and I don't want any of you working on your business plans until December 31st. Forget about your business plans, forget about next year, because we still have this year to finish up. Does this make sense? Yeah. We're going to run through the finish line. You're not thinking this year's over. I'm thinking there's deals to be done. There's transactions to close, and quite frankly, I'm still convinced, I've said this a dozen times in this meeting, you can still open and close a deal before the end of the year. You can get a paycheck. You can do it if you will go out and do these activities. I wrote down here, your competition is working on their plans. Your competition is starting to slow down. Your competition is getting ready for the holidays. Your competition is talking to their clients about, well, we'll do it next year. Well, let me tell you something. You are going to run into your competition's clients, and you're going to say, I can probably get you into escrow this year if we price it well and we're aggressive with the marketplace, and you're going to do the door knocking and things that you need to do, because there's lots of buyers and lots of sellers out there today for you to get a hold of. I wrote down here, we need to push through the finish line. I usually end by saying today matters, but I want to say this matters. I want you to get what I just said. This matters. What we talked about right now matters. What you will do really matters. Now let's go out and really make December a month that is outstanding. Thank you.